inspires people to bake, and the Nordic Ware Factory store has the pans to fuel your inspiration. You'll love their beautiful Fall Harvest Bronze collection of pans featuring sunflowers, pumpkins, apples, acorns, and more. And you'll be the life of the party with Halloween-themed pans. Find it all at the Nordic Ware Factory store.
All right, friends, Monday night meal time. You know, I love egg rolls, right? They're so good. I just had them at Diane's place last week, and they were so delicious. But it's a lot of work to make them, from the rolling and all of the things. Make them from scratch.
Believe me, I grew up making egg rolls with my mom.
How'd you do?
I am not a great roller.
Okay, all
but
right.
you know, I could put the little like egg wash on there and seal everything up and help drop them in the fryer. I can do that.
We can make it easier today, though.
I know, we can do that. So Rachael Perron's here with Kowalski's, and she's gonna have a really easy recipe that has all the flavors of the egg roll with all of the mess and all of the egg wash and all the things. So how you doing? Yeah,
good.
thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. You know, my mom always used to make me egg rolls for my birthday every year because it was my favorite thing to have, and I realized as an adult why she only made them on my birthday.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Like, it's
They're
crazy.
labor intensive.
And not only that, but I'm not about that deep fry life.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just a mess.
Yeah.
I know.
It smells up the house. It's hard to dispose of the oil.
Right.
So I've air fried them, but they're not the same. So I just wanted to try something that was a little bit more approachable, with same flavors and all that fun stuff.
This, I think, is
Yeah.
so fun, and I'm just interested in your method because I think you see a lot of these egg roll in a bowl methods on social media, and you're kind of never sure which one is going to turn out great.
Right.
So you've got 2 pans going.
Yep.
What's happening?
Well, I'm going to start by making a base of fried rice. So this is a little bit of mushroom and carrot that I sauteed in a little bit. You could do peanut or canola oil. I'm going to add in a little garlic here at the very end just to kind of soften it up a bit, take that raw flavor off of it, and then some green onions too, just to add a little freshness and a pop of color.
So good.
This fried rice recipe is tried and true, but it's got that classic combination of garlic, onion, and a little bit of, I like ginger here. So about a teaspoon and a half of ground ginger. You could also use a little fresh, but I know a lot of people don't always have fresh on hand.
True.
So this is pantry friendly, and you can smell that ginger.
Oh yeah,
It's delicious.
yeah. So
that's-
aromatic.
And then I'm also going to put in, especially for you guys, a little bit of chili garlic paste. This is that.
Just for us?
Just
We like
I
heat.
know
You know that we like
your
the spice.
Yep.
And I do too. So we're going to put a little bit of that in there, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, depending on your preference, just to give it a little bit of a heat. And then I'm going to put in the rice. So 3 cups
Okay.
of fully cooked white rice, or you could use brown if you wanted to as well for a little more fiber and maybe a little extra protein. We're going to throw that in there with a little bit of sesame oil, just about half a teaspoon, just to give it a little bit of flavor. Sesame oil can overtake the flavor of a dish real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast. So don't do that. Just kind of stir that together. And then we're going to let this cook for a bit while we work on the top of our egg roll bowl. So Elizabeth, what you've got there is a little bit of ground pork.
Yum. I love how it's like small pieces. They're looking like nice and crispy. This is going to be good.
I know, and they're popping over here. I don't know if you guys can, you probably can't see that on TV, but they're over here just jumping out of the
We can
pan.
turn that heat down just a little
Yeah.
bit. We don't want anybody getting hurt. But we want to put in a little bit of our cabbage mixture. This is a bag of basically coleslaw mix.
Yes, you just
and
buy this.
again, this is great because I don't want a half of a head of cabbage sitting around in my fridge after I'm done making this dish.
Fair enough.
I only wanted this much. It also has 2 colors of cabbage. It's got carrot in there. So it's just the perfect amount for this dish. So it's convenient, no measurement. It's just very, very simple.
Easy.
So that's going to go in there. We're going to cook that for a little bit. I'm also going to add a little bit of ginger here as well too.
Heck yeah.
And then this needs to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now the thing about this is, because it's an egg roll bowl, you don't have to cook it as much as you would if you were putting it in an egg roll.
Because you don't need it to be so compact.
You don't need all that liquid cooked off. So if you want something that's perhaps a little bit more textural, has a little bit more crunch to it, you could certainly let this be a little bit more crunchy. I mean, we want it to wilt a little more than we have here.
So that's almost like a personal preference. If you really, really want it wilted down, then
Yeah.
you can cook it a little bit longer.
For just it's just a great, it's just a great option that you have. And also the other thing is, you said we use ground pork here, but you could also use ground chicken. You could use turkey. I've seen people do these egg roll bowls with beef, so it's really a matter of preference. The pork is a little bit more traditional, but you can't really lose either way. We want to put a little bit of seasoning in here in the form of soy sauce.
Great.
And then I'll help that to cook down and finish. The same thing with the rice. Just give it a little bit of soy. And I heard you mentioning before about my obsession with flavor.
Yeah.
And it's all about balancing things. So this is going to have a nice salty flavor. It's got a little bit of a heat. I always put a little bit of black pepper on my fried rice too. You know, you have that salt. I feel like the pepper goes really nicely with it. So I finish this with a little bit of pepper as well. And then when that's hot, you've got your bowls here. We just put the rice in the bottom of your bowl or on your plate. And then we top it with the pork and cabbage mixture.
So good.
And I finished yours with a couple of like textural elements. So you've got a little bit of that fresh green onion again to bring in that brightness, some toasted sesame seeds,
Yum.
wonton strips for crunch to kind of emulate that egg roll wrapper.
Yeah.
And then that's our spicy kalbi. It's a Korean sauce actually, but it's an alternative to sweet and sour sauce, which is a really nice little finishing.
I love the
This
spicy
is
of
so
this.
good. I don't know how you do it. Like,
know.
honestly, you guys watch. There's not a lot of anything in there. There's a little bit of ginger. There's a little bit of soy sauce. Like,
Ugh.
it's not overly flavored, but then it's very flavorful.
It's so delicious and it's super veggie forward.
Yeah.
And this is absolutely outstanding, Rachel. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
eat
good.
this whole little plate. It's going to make me so happy. We're going to post a link to this recipe on our website. Delicious.
All right, you go back, get another forkful.
All
Let's
right.
take